reading the Bible every single day until it makes sense. I'm reading the entire Bible cover to cover. We already finished the first 2 books of the Bible, so we are officially starting in Leviticus, guys. I read the first 7 chapters, so let me give you guys my chapter breakdowns. In Leviticus 1, these were the laws for the burnt offerings. It was to be a male animal without blemishes, to be killed, and the blood to be splashed on the altar. Then the meat was to be burned and the entrails to be cleaned and sacrificed. This was for the burnt and food offerings. Leviticus 2 was the law for the grain offerings. They were to either make bread from the unleavened flour or bring fine flour to the tabernacle to be mixed with frankincense and oil. Leviticus 3, these were the laws for peace offerings. Whether they killed a random animal from the herd or a goat, they were to pour out the blood on the altar, remove the kidneys and the fat from the animal, and they were to not eat any of the fat or the blood. Leviticus 4 was the sin offering laws. When people sinned, they were expected to bring sacrifices to the tabernacle to be forgiven by God through the priests. The blood was to be sprinkled 7 times before the veil, and the animal was to be defatted and delivered and then prepared to be killed and sacrificed. Normal people sacrificed young female goats, but leaders sacrificed males. In Leviticus 5, it talks about the priest laws. The priests were to stay clean. They were to stay in the holiness of God. If the sinner could not afford a lamb, they were to sacrifice a dove. And if they could not afford a dove, they could sacrifice the fine flour to the Lord. Leviticus 6, it talks about the guilt offerings. If somebody realizes they have sinned or betrayed the Lord, they are to pay full restitution plus 1/5 extra to the priest to be forgiven. If somebody robs or oppresses, they are to pay the full amount as repayment plus 1/5 extra to make atonement to the Lord. Leviticus 7, God gives Moses the commandments for how the priests were to handle offerings and the tabernacle. The fire was to be always kept burning. The grain offerings were to be offered to God and then also eaten by Aaron and his sons. Priest offerings were never to be eaten, and the guilt offerings were the most holy. They were also not to leave any food till the morning, and all unclean objects touched are unholy. All of the Israelites were told not to eat any of the fat or blood from any animal, and Moses commanded Israel to bring their offerings to the Lord. I just wanted to stop and let y'all know that this is obviously not how we do this nowadays, but this was thousands and thousands of years before the birth of Jesus Christ. So it's a little bit different now, but guys, I'm unpacking and understanding the Bible every single day. Today's day 18. Come back tomorrow for day 19.